feeling I experience within my life, which comes and goes but never disappears entirely. What I mean by this is that although there are moments where I am not necessarily delighted, I still acknowledge that delight does not cease in existence, and that if I look hard enough, I can still find it. Most of my delight comes from subtle, easy-to-miss places, and I think being able to appreciate these delights is important because otherwise we would be ignoring an opportunity to let in the light. Finding delight all depends on how we interpret something, and therefore trying to look for it and find joy from it is our choice to make. Over the past semester, I was asked to journal about moments or recent experiences and themes in my life. These journals helped me to think about some recent and not so recent moments in my life, where I experienced a moment of delight. By looking over them, I hope to gain a better awareness of the smaller delights that are sometimes hidden. I believe that talking about these delights will force me to pay more attention to these quiet moments, which have the power to make my day or help me realize something about myself, or lift my spirits even if it is for just a moment. Ultimately, I would like to have a stronger appreciation and attentiveness to the little moments of delight that surround my life every day. One instance of delight I experienced recently happened as I was driving to Del Mar. I was driving from my last lab of the school day as the sun began to set. The sky looked beautiful, and it seemed almost unreal. There appeared to be soft and wispy cirrus clouds, which were stretching across near the horizon line in repeating patterns, similar to these images in the bottom left. It was as if they were painted on intentionally. While most of the sky showed colors of yellow and blue, what stood out to me was the vibrant patch of deep red, similar to this image right here. Most sunsets I see are composed of colors layered upon one another, following a gradient from yellow to pink or red to orange. But as I looked up, the red didn't seem to blend in with any of the other colors. It simply stood there as an independent part of the sky, not even stretching across the horizon as the other colors did. In awe, I contemplated reaching for my phone to take a picture because I was scared that if I looked away for even a second, I would have missed out on this special moment. So instead, I just stared out the car window because it felt as if the world was giving the kind of gift that you could only notice if you stopped to pay attention. My delight came from the fact that out of all the people who could have been right there, right where I was at that exact moment, I was the lucky one who got to experience it. Another source of delight in my life recently came from a silly moment I shared with my boyfriend. We were calling each other when he said something funny, although I can't quite recall what exactly he said to me because that wasn't the part which stood out the most to me. What I remember, though, is how hard it made me laugh. I rarely laughed this hard, and I could tell how happy it was making him to know he had genuinely made me lose it. I figured this was because he kept repeating the joke, not for any reason other than to keep me laughing. It was a moment of delight for him, and for me, the delight I felt was not just from the joke itself. It was more so from the joy I was bringing him just by laughing at a joke he made. This moment reminded me how connected our joys really are, and how we can feed off each other's happiness in an endless loop. I realized how this shared delight was much more meaningful than just the joke itself, and how smaller delights, not just obvious ones, can bring so much joy when we try and look for them.